Hey everyone, it's Luke, your Dungeon Blaster. I just want to let you know that there were some technical difficulties with Peter's mic in this episode, so his voice might be a little low at times. I raised the volume as much as I could without it sounding shite. I also ran out of time while editing this episode due to life and illness getting in the way. Please forgive us, but it was a pretty fun episode, and we hope you enjoy.
Welcome, traveler. You have entered a realm of adventure. Prepare yourself for tales from Beyond the Dice.
Beyond the Dice is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast set in a cyberpunk city called New Ettica. I'm your Dungeon Master Luke, and your players are...
Ben, I play Cortaine, the level 5 human fighter.
Peter, I'm playing Spigs. What level are we?
5.
Dwarf Artificer called Spigs.
I just said it, man.
Oh no.
Little Moss is played by Travis, and he's a level 5 monk. Coming at ya.
He's also made of half orcs and half something else.
What is the other half of a half orc? Is it largely considered to be human, or could you be anything? Could you be half dragonborn?
Could you also be another half orc?
Oh, well then you'd be a quarter orc.
Doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, it does. Half orc and a half orc mate. You're going to be a quarter orc.
No, it makes a full orc. You nub. It's math.
Okay.
When I was coming up with a new character for Ben's game, when my first character perished, I was choosing between a half-orc character and the elf that I play now. And the half-orc character was going to insist he was half-elf because he was going to be half-elf, half-orc. But he just didn't want to talk about his orc side because he was a little embarrassed, because generally people don't like half-orcs and such. So every time somebody would say, like, mention him being a half-orc, he would correct them saying that he's a half-elf.
No, I'm half-elf.
Yes, like,
Oh no, me not half-orc, me half-elf.
yes, anyway. Let us get you three boys to roll me a d20 and tell me what happened previously on Beyond the Dice.
Does this dice roll have anything to do with who's telling you, or are we just rolling and telling?
What happens is...
Moss 16.
Whoever gets the lowest tells. Whoever gets the
Man,
lowest
how many
wins.
dice did you just roll?
He's making sure he doesn't get the lowest.
Yeah.
He's like 47.
Cheater Peter.
Take that, bitches. 18.
Cortaine with a 9.
Oh! Alright, Cortaine, recount the tale of episode 36.
So, we were at that really swanky hospital where Gage got taken because he was having a moment.
He's dead now.
He was emitting like an electromagnetic pulse. Like, it wasn't a moment.
He was having magical
Emissions.
seizures.
He was having a magic crisis.
And he had Vista installed, and that was the problem.
So he stayed at the hospital because he might be dying, or they have to look after him. Then we got called to the library to by what's the crazy guy's name?
Lorian.
L'Oreal. Because we're worth it.
Maybe he's born with it.
Oh.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
So, we got called because the keys are on the move. There's some ancient magic he put over those keys, which have told us that they're being transported. And
GPS, mate.
thus...
It's just Google Maps.
It's a printed off version of Google Maps.
Thus ensued a daring car chase, in which we, in, I believe, Spigs' truck, were chasing like a whole caravan of heavily armed mercenaries, or bad guys, as they're called. And then we started owning up. I believe Cortaine did a spin in the air and cut off a guy's arm and leg.
Huh.
Little Moss did something.
I think I just had an existential crisis.
You jumped from vehicle to hoverbike to van from car. I'm pretty sure you touched about 38 different vehicles in that episode, just launching from thing to thing.
Yeah, I didn't actually hurt anyone, but
no, it was pretty great.
Like Spider-Man.
Yeah. Wait, I think you might have
Little Moss.
tried to punch someone but didn't quite get them or something.
No.
I'm not sure.
No, I just thought about this. Like, you just said, mercenaries, also known as bad guys, but, like, we are mercenaries. Do you think that the other people think we're the bad guys and that there's an alternate podcast being recorded right now from the other perspective? Do you know what I mean? Like, and they're just like, and then this jerk of a half orc, half elf, whatever, leapt on me and punched me in the face, and it was really not okay.
Well, sucks to be them, because I think I killed one of their party members last session.
Yeah, so they're like, they regularly team wipe and they have to re-roll like every couple of episodes.
Yeah, it's one I haven't wanted to release because it just ends up with the players all crying in reaction to what happens when the big guy in the suit and the karate orc and the little dwarf with the robot legs blow their heads off every friggin' 40 minutes.
It's like, that would be terrible listening, don't you think?
What do you mean we fucking died again?
Yeah, it's like, okay, you get attacked, roll a save. I rolled a crit, but the script says you have to die.
That's great.
Oh, and where the episode ended was...
Oh, yes.
Sorry, we're still doing recap, my bad.
Oops.
Yeah. So, it ended with us following the van where the keys are into the parking lot of a big corporate building. And then a robotic Minotaur and a giant turret-armed robotic spider appeared.
Yes, they emerged from the large armoured vehicles that were escorting the security van.
I assume they come to help us rescue the keys.
Most definitely.
I think you're wrong. Cue battle music.
All right. Bum, 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 bum.
Is that battle music?
That was battle music. That was the starting of battle music.
Needs more synthwave.
And if we would all like to go to Roll20, and if Roll20, if you're listening today, it's working quite well for me. So congratulations and thank you.
They heard all the abuse you gave, like all the other episodes, and they're finally fixing this shit.
It's just called mega building. Oh wait, no, you're right.
No, you need to zoom out.
You just need to
There's
zoom out.
just a square. There's not a square rectangle. There's a green rectangle.
Whoa. Don't say square rectangles on our podcast. You know they'll come after us. The government.
A square is a kind of rectangle, I guess.
It's more like a quadruped.
What's a quadruped? Is something that has 4 legs.
Yeah. How do you know the square doesn't have 4 legs?
I'm more of a triped myself.
So hold on. Squares and tables are both the same thing. They have 4 legs. They're quadrupeds. Tables.
Yeah, and horses as well.
Horses are just big weird dogs.
Why do you think horses are just big weird dogs?
Dogs are just small weird horses.
No, dogs came first.
How do you know dogs came first?
Really,
Dogs are cool.
in terms of the domestication of animals in history, are you advocating that horses were domesticated
We did not
after
jump to
dogs?
domestication. He simply said an open statement, dogs came first.
Yes, okay, this is how dogs came first. If we had to believe the story of the Garden of Eden, Adam fucking dogged it. He was a dog man. He dogged out Eve. God came along and was like, Did you motherfuckers eat this big fruit thing here? And then Adam was like, nah, she told me to do it. Like, what a dog. He just dobbed her in.
Oh,
So,
right. I see
dogs
what you did there.
came first.
No, well,
Alright.
I thought you were going to say that God created all the animals in alphabetical order and D comes before H.
Oh,
That is also
no, because
correct.
that
Also,
means
That's a very English-centric view of history.
yeah, that means elephant would have came first. Elephant with an
And
A.
aardvark is the first animal created. This weird little long snout thing.
Whoa, actually, if you think about it, the anteater did come first, because I assume that if Adam was the first man, he would not have been circumcised, therefore he would have had an anteater penis.
Oh my gosh. That got real weird.
Hold on.
Alright, let's start our Dungeons and Dragons podcast, please.
How is there an anteater before ants?
Well, that's the question. Like, does anteaters, surely ants are alphabetically before anteater.
Maybe it wasn't spelt as ant, A-N-T, but it was A-N-C-E, ants eater. It ate ants.
Yeah.
And ants was... Anyway,
It's hyphenated.
God damn. Come on, let's stop. Alright, let's do this. What you all see before you, as each of you look around this scene in the moments before battle commences, is this massive monolithic tower. Flanking this soon-to-be battle scene are 4 large rectangular 10-foot...
Squares.
5-foot tall cement blocks. And out of the cement blocks, you see grass and gardens, like plant life, trees, bushes, flowers. You guys have not... Actually, Little Moss, you have seen this before, where you originated from, in the monastery. But Spigs and Cortaine, you have not seen greenery like this in real life. The closest you had gotten to it was in the Edict of Aya's club, at the Knights Club, of all the plants and bushes and succulents upstairs in that sort of office building, or the office room upstairs. That's the closest you ever gotten to greenery like this. Now, closer northward towards these large steps that lead to the door and entrance of this giant building is a huge star, or a huge, I should say, from top down, it looks like a large star, but it is a fountain with this massive elven design in the center of it, that water is cascading down into the pool beneath. South past this fountain, there is the van. This security van that Little Moss is crouched down in front of. Not far from him, there is the Banshee, the woman with the skull mask and the bow, the very tactical and high-tech looking armor on. Southward, again, you have the large armored vehicles, one with a large mech suit, and this mech is shaped and designed to look like a Minotaur.
It's not Mecha Bugbear.
No, it's bigger than Mecha Bugbear.
Bigger than Mecha Bugbear.
Bom, bom, bom! Think of like a Gundam wing sort of mech suit, but it looks like a Minotaur. And then south even more, there is this large four-legged, this quadruped tank thing. Its 4 legs are tank treads, and on the top there is a turret, and it is the size of maybe a small truck. Behind that we see Chev.
Is that a giant robot table? You said table. You said quadruped, right?
It is basically a table with a cannon on top. South past that there is Chev, Spigs' truck, and Spigs is stepping out of his vehicle. Behind him, Cortaine climbs out of a family van, or a station wagon, I should say. Yeah, I should say. Cortaine climbs out of a station wagon, I should say. And an old lady yells out of the window, "Go get him, son!" And this is where we will get everyone to roll initiative.
I really hope that old granny was going to help us.
Oh.
This isn't a hot fuzz.
Where everyone and their mums is back around here.
Cortaine, what did you get?
Cortaine is busy saying goodbye to the nice old lady and got a 3.
Oh.
Did you roll?
Little Moss.
Did you roll a 0? Little Moss rolled at a 19.
Holy shit. Nice. And Spigs?
Spigs was not saying goodbye to the old lady and has to check what Where the hell's my initiative score?
We rehearsed this earlier.
We didn't rehearse anything.
We rehearsed this in the other 36 episodes.
That's true, actually.
There's,
Far out, man.
I rolled a 17, but I don't know what my initiative bonus is.
What do you mean you don't know?
What's your dexterity?
Dexterity is 15.
What's your bonus?
2.
It's 15 plus 2. Oh my god.
Look, I may have drunk a bit, but...
You're the worst.
Oh, they moved it to here, I found it. It's on the left now. They updated the app.
You're not an ambi-turner.
It's the app's fault.
Yeah, I'm playing the app. Really, really awesome app, but they changed it on me. So it is 19 total.
19, okay, and it's gonna go to Little Moss first.
Yeah. So, like...
Fuck!
Oh no! He killed her! Deleting all these scribbles.
Oh! There we go, okay.
For those of you who can't see at home, Travis is drawing penises.
What?
This is all over the map.
What? I did do that. Alright, what does the woman look like? She looks like she has a beard in the photo.
Ah, well, if you zoom in a little bit more, you will see a little bit more. So this woman is wearing this high-tech tactical bodysuit, armored plates on her arms, legs, chest area, stomach. Her face is covered in a skull mask, which, if you remember, which you probably don't, I will load up a picture of it, Raoul Quark. It looks like that. This skull mask over her pale skin, her platinum blonde hair has
yeah, that's right.
has been cut short earlier when you first met her. All the way back at like episode 3 or whatever it was, she had longer hair that was tied up in a bun on top of her head. She looks like she has cut it.
She was the woman who shot Spigs through the chest with a crossbow?
A longbow.
A longbow.
And that is what she is holding now too. You see that she has some blades at her sides, a mechanical quiver type thing over her shoulder, and she's holding this incredible looking compound bow.
Ah, damn. She's not going to try and fire at me, is she?
No, you were first.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So-
That's a shame.
That's a shame.
All right. So what I'm going to do is
That's a shame.
imagine this scenario. Moss has just like flipped off of the front of the car and has like landed on all fours. And you know when someone lands with such force that like dust goes around where they think it like puffs up into the air. And the first thing he does is like he looks like he's crouched down ready to start a race, and then he looks up, he sees her, and he just guns straight for her. He would like to run at her, flip over her, land in the fountain, splash her with some water, and then punch her in the back of the head.
All right.
Just for style points.
Okay, roll your attacks, sir.
So I don't have to roll like a athletics check or anything? I can just do that because I'm a monk?
No, you basically you can just sort of do that stuff in combat. You just have to roll your attack.
Okay, my attack is 16.
So, as you were going to kick her, was it? In the back of the head?
No,
What was it?
Punch, because I landed
okay,
in
cool.
the fountain to splash.
Oh, you landed in the fountain, you splash water up as water is cascading through the air towards her, and you flurry your fist at incredible speed. She uses her bow and she knocks your hand aside, and then she knocks an arrow and is pointing it towards you. Did you want to try and attack again? Because I
Yeah,
believe you can do so.
I can. I'm going to do flurry of blows. I'm going to make 2 unarmed bonus strikes. Oh god, 12.
That is a miss. You go to strike her again, and she like spins and dodges out of the way, and you go to strike, and you do like 5 consecutive hits, all of them missing as she quickly dodges and dashes within 5 feet of you.
Alright, so I got one more try.
Do you?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, it's not good. I rolled an 8, a 4, and a 6. 14.
An 8, a 4, and a 6, 14. Okay. Once again, you try and spin kick. She ducks under it. She hasn't let the.
Can she at least
arrow
be
go.
wet? Can she at least be wet with fountain water by this point from all the the blows that I'm trying to land on her?
Oh yeah,
in
there's these scenes of you trying to hit her are like those kung fu movies when it's in water and little droplets are flying everywhere in slow motion. And
Is it like it's raining in the Matrix?
Yeah.
yes,
Can she now roll disadvantage on her bow because people that have bows, like, it's largely agreed that archers, when it is raining, are at a disadvantage because their hands slip on their
Did you
bows.
seriously attack from the fountain just for that little historical tidbit?
Yep.
You're the best.
Probably
I will
not.
I will see. I will see.
Good.
That's
We will
enough.
have to see.
That's definitely a no.
Let's put.
That's
you
how we'll talk about it later.
Well,
She's got an upgrade on a bow that like negates water effects.
Yeah.
You might as well have just said, I'll take it under...
It's Teflon coated.
Yeah. Luke, you might as well have just said, I'll take it under advisement.
Yeah. I'll take it under advisement. Okay. When it comes to your next
Beating.
Yeah, I would say when it. Yeah. No. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm just gonna go on about this. Next we have Spigs. So you are all the way at the bottom there.
Woo!
And you've just climbed out of your vehicle.
Yeah.
In front of you, there is this large spider-like mech with its tank tread legs, and it points its cannon towards you as you roll up.
Looks pretty scary. Can Spigs like half hang inside Chev and like wind down the window and fire thunderfire cannon out of Chev at the tank so get some some more cover?
Yeah, you can have cover behind the door of Chev or something. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Alright, well, Spigs is going to shoot at the
Alright.
tank / table. Tank table.
Table.
That's a 12 versus AC.
That is going to miss. As you fire your hold on, let me just fix this. As you fire your thunder cannon and the thunderbolts slam into this mechanical carapace, if you will, little sizzles rise up from the metal and it doesn't seem to be affected.
Spigs will then activate one of the contraptions inside his little compartment in his arm.
Yep.
Pop it open, pull out this little device, and he will press the button and it expands into the expands into a rolling belt that shoots off these little LEDs that provide a shield, so it projects this shield.
Alright, and what is that? What spell is that?
That is Shield of Faith.
Alright. Faith in his own designs.
Own designs. So it's plus 10 to AC for speed, but normally plus 2, right?
Say what?
Oh, because he said his own faith in his own designs, so it's plus 10, right?
I get it. No, it's a plus 2, though you have partial cover from behind your door. And is that all you're doing, sir? Alright, cool. Next we have this large spider-like mech. For the purpose of this, I will call it the Bolter Mech. And what it will do is... it is going to... harpoon! So you see out of the turret of the top of this Bolter Mech, you see almost like a silver missile protrude out slowly. It fires towards you, Spigs, and out pop these, basically like almost like a grappling hook, but it's incredibly sharp. And Let's see. It will be a 17 versus AC.
That will not hit.
It slams into the door of your car, and it's the what do you call it? This sort of cable is stuck, and this harpoon is stuck in the door. It will then use these two little sort of cannons that sort of activate from the side of it, either side of this main cannon, and it will shoot these electric bolts that fly up in the air like little missiles, kind of like magic missile that Gage used, and they're going to fly down and they will slam into you, Spigs. And that will be 21 versus AC.
Ooh, it meets it, it beats it.
Alright, so that'll be 15 piercing damage as these little energy bolts slam into you. And that's the end of its turn. Next we have the Mech, or the Minotaur Mech, and that this large...
Is it ballistic or piercing damage?
Piercing. This... yeah, the Minotaur Mech will slowly make its way over towards Little Moss. And you see out of its back this large, there's this large pole-like thing, and it grabs it, and you hear all this machinery, robotic sounds, and pulling free from his back, this large Minotaur Mech is holding a huge maul, this massive hammer, and he's going to swing it down at you. Let's see. 18 versus AC. It's going to miss. Alright. You move out of the way as it crushes a whole chunk of this fountain, and water starts to spill out of it. It's then going to swing its maul once again. And that's the same result. It's going to miss. It swings.
No, it hits this time.
This.
Just kidding.
Sorry?
I said it's going to hit this time, but that's not true.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's as it swings at you, the Banshee who's standing there also has to duck out of the way of this massive mech, and the water starts to pour all over the ground, rushing all over the ground there where you are. Next will be the Banshee's turn. She is going to... Where is she? There we go. She's going to turn to you, and I'll turn from you and move away. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About here. Actually, no, where was she here? She moves towards the side of the van. Which gives you an opportunity attack, by the way, so make that.
I think this is going to go well.
Do it.
26.
26. Alright, that'll hit.
Hey, that went well. I should say that every time. Alright, so it is 14 damage.
14 damage. Alright, perfect. What does it look like when you hit her?
She tries to move away from me, so I punch her in the back of the head.
She stumbles forward, stumbling towards the side of the van. As she sort of gains her footing, she turns and fires an arrow at you.
I would like to react.
Yep.
By trying to catch the arrow.
Alright. So, what does that entail? I still have to make the attack, and then you roll to counter it, or what is it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yep. It has to hit first.
18 plus... Hold on.
Don't say that. Just say 18. 18 plus 0?
It is going to be...
I'm just going to say
it's 18 plus 8.
It hits.
It's going to hit. How do you catch it?
So I have to roll a
In your
D10.
teeth. Catch it in your teeth. In your...
I don't think this is gonna actually work, but I'm gonna try. Alright, so I rolled a 3 plus 4 plus 5. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. I try and catch it, but it pierces my hand. So I need to reduce the damage to 0.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
You reduce the damage to 0.
So it's reduced. It's reduced by, like, I reduce the damage by 1d10 plus my dex modifier plus my monk level, which is 3 plus 4 plus 5, which is 12. If it's reduced to 0, I can catch the missile.
For the damage?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So roll damage. Roll damage.
I will roll the damage. It's only 11 damage.
Alright. So when the damage is reduced to 0, I can catch the missile if it's small enough to hold in one hand.
You catch it, and now I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay, that doesn't sound good. I'll do that. Nine.
Okay, so you catch the arrow, you're smiling at her and you laugh, and then this green gas sprays out of this arrow that you're holding right into your face. And you take... I need a couple of those.
He's still rolling. Oh!
You take 25 poison damage, and you are paralyzed until the start of your next turn.
Okay, well, I do nothing.
Also, no, until the end of your next turn, I believe. Yes.
Okay.
And she moved, she fired. Yep, that's all she does.
Yep.
Next we go to Cortaine.
Got own little moth.
I caught the arrow. I thought I was doing well.
Like, oh, it's the goggles, that's in my seat.
Turns out it was a joke arrow.
It didn't just spray water in your face.
It's like pepper water.
It was poison damage, by the way, in case you have any sort of immunity to it or anything.
Makes no difference.
Okay, cool. Cortaine.
Okay, so how far am I away from the big giant spider table?
65 feet.
Unfortunately, further than I can get to. Instead, I will.
Hey, if I'm paralyzed and I'm in the water, do I die from, like,
Yep, roll another character.
asphyxiation?
Roll for drowning.
I will activate my jet boots.
Yep.
And then I will fly 60 feet, so I will be around about above the spider tank.
Yep.
And then that is my turn. So I have activated my shield. I have pulled out my sword. I'm just kind of flying there, just thinking about things.
This is like an episode of Dragon Ball Z where, like, the guy floats in the air and he's powering up for like 3 episodes, and we're just like, can we just finish this already?
Yes.
Who told you what the script was for this episode?
I've read it somewhere before in every other Dragon Ball Z episode.
Then we have Little Moss again.
Oh god.
So you are
I'm
paralyzed.
floating face down in the water if you need me.
Now you're still standing up. You're doing that like drunken, dazed, like in fighting games and stuff when you get stunned or dazed, and your character like just sort of stands there wobbling around on their toes.
This is the point in Mortal Kombat where someone yells out from the side of the screen, "Finish him," and then he gets uppercutted into the water.
Yeah.
Okay, I do nothing. Thanks for asking.
That's no problem. Next we have Spigs.
Alright, so Spigs was right in the middle of like he got out another device from his microwave oven compartment.
Yep, in his arm.
And he pressed the button as Cortaine.
Yep.
Yes, Cortaine, not the other human that we left behind.
Yes, Cortaine.
He ran forward at the same time as Spigs threw this grenade. So Cortaine's actually, when he speed boost, he was flying alongside this like beeping glowing thing.
Cortaine's like up in the air, bro. He's good. He's good. Why do you want to hurt Cortaine?
No, Peter's just sort of describing the parallels of Cortaine flying through the air and 10 feet away from him there is this grenade flying at the same speed.
Ah, okay. I thought he actually wanted a, team kill.
No, it just happened that I already had planned to do something and then you happened to rush forward. But that's alright, because it's an EMP grenade.
Oh.
Man, aren't we all riddled with cybernetics? We're screwed.
Yeah, I'm right now flying in air.
It's not my fault.
In a robotic suit.
As soon as that goes out, I can't move for 24 hours. My spine is crushed.
That's great. I can't wait for this to happen. Make it happen now!
Alright, Peter, roll your you throw it. How far can you throw grenades?
Oh no, it was DM.
It's your weapon!
It's your job to know.
No, I bought it. It's a shot.
Son of a butt. Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
It is you can throw it up to 60 feet.
Oh shit.
So it hits Cortaine, but doesn't get. Yeah, gets. Oh, so he was aiming at the spider table tank.
I'm gonna get a little bomb icon if I can. Ooh, I found a thermal detonator. Alright, where are you throwing it? There?
Yeah. Well, we'll say it's there. So pretty much right next to the spider tank. I'm not sure how far the range of explosion.
It is 5 feet.
5 feet.
Yep. 5 feet around it.
Yeah, square's 5.
Breaking the
I
narrative.
don't know, can you guys see that orange aura?
Let's say it was right next to Cortaine, but the last minute it bounces off the spider tank to his leg, and directly where it's currently sitting, slightly out of range of Cortaine.
Alright, and do you have the damage written down for that?
No, I do not have damage or its effects.
You make me look up. It will be at least 3d6 lightning damage, and it'll be all electronics in that area will be paralyzed for a certain amount of time. So you throw it, I have to make a dex saving throw. I know that much. And this thing doesn't have any amazing dex, does it? Oh, that's okay, actually. Yep. It's actually going to pass.
No.
So it got an 18 on the dex saving throw, and the bombs or grenades, they are a DC 12 saving throw or take 3d6 type damage, so fire, thunder, all that sort of shit. So it saves against it, which means it doesn't get exploded with lightning, and it doesn't take paralyzing
Is that a standard action to throw a grenade?
Yes.
Oh, he's a lame one.
So when you throw it, it lands near it, and then the leg just pushes it away to there. It explodes. All this electricity sparks out everywhere. These arcs of lightning ripple off all metallic objects in the area, and then the bomb disappears.
The adrenaline sticks, are they a minor to cast? Or throw?
Yes.
Ooh. Alright, I will. Spigs is hurt from those bullets before, measure missiles. He will inject an adrenaline shot stick into himself.
Alright.
Which, I don't know what it does, but I assume it's health.
It is health. It is the spare undead spell. Oh, sorry, spare dead.
Oh,
Yes.
so it's like if someone's dying, you do an adrenaline shot. Okay. He doesn't do that. He then instead casts Cure Wounds. So he has a little other device in his little pocket of awesomeness.
Yep.
And it comes up and he like presses it and like presses the button and it kind of like sprays this little red mist and he inhales it.
But are you able to do that? Is that an action?
That is it is an action. Damn.
Yep.
Alright, so he just reloads his cannon.
Alright, you reload and...
None of those things that I said I did, I then reload my cannon.
It is the Bolter Mech and the... Oops, sorry, I'm about to burp. And I don't want to burp in the mic, because that's just rude.
Hey, that's what half of our bloopers are.
We're gonna have bloopers, otherwise what will happen?
Burp! Okay, it is going to use its bolt attack again against... Not against Spigs this time. It is going to use it against Cortaine. So as Cortaine is hovering in the air, all of these little blue energy bullet things fire out of these little cannons on the side of it, and they all spiral into all different directions and then head in one singular direction, and that direction is Cortaine. And so that will be... that doesn't look too good, actually. The first one is going to be a 17 versus AC, which is not going to hit.
That is correct.
And the second one is going to be a 23 versus AC.
Oh, meets it or beats it.
So the second lot hits and slams into you, and that is going to be 15 piercing damage.
Excellent.
Alright. And...
I reduce that damage because of my armor.
Cool. And... next it will be... the mech, the Minotaur Mech's turn. So this mech, once again, is going to...
Don't smush me.
It is actually going to charge. And when it charges, it slams into you. It uses this ability called Horn Gore, and as it lowers its head and it starts charging towards you, you see its massive horns on the top of its head glow this red sort of energy, and it hits you.
Oh.
And
Whether I like it or not.
it will be 19
Beats it.
19 versus AC.
Beats it. And being unarmored.
That's going to be 13 damage from the stabbing of this horn, and the red energy
I'm bloodied.
like burns you for another 9 damage.
I'm very hurt. There's blood in the pool.
Can you make a strength save for me?
I can try. Strength saving throw. 15.
It's the 15. Cool. You are like gored by this thing. It like slashes you through, so like on your ribs and stuff. And instead of like pushing you, you like flip out of the way and land within 5 feet.
So there's like a spray of water that goes backwards as I try and halt my momentum.
And then it shows like the pool of this fountain, and right near your, like where your legs are in the water, there's like little droplets of blood from your side.
Yeah, there is.
And that is all he will do. Next is the Banshee's turn. What she will do is go to the van. There's 2 guys inside of it. She opens she opens the back door there. She grabs something out of it. And oh, hold on. Where was she there?
She just like spunk gas on me last time and I almost died, so this isn't going to go well for me. Why am I like dual wielding 2 bad guys? Come on, stop sticking around in the air over there.
She grabs this large, well, not large, but she grabs this briefcase sized box with a handle. It could be a briefcase. She then sprints. She double moves. She sprints away from the back of the van and towards the building. That is her turn. Next is Cortaine.
So, how far am I away from this Banshee?
Let's see. Hold on. I will get the measuring tool. Wherever the fuck it is. Ah, there we go. 115 feet.
Oh, how far away am I from the Minotaur Mechator?
85 feet.
Still so far away. I will do...
Or like, yeah, 80 foot to the very edge of the creature.
Yeah. No, I'm going to attack the giant scorpion. No, not scorpion. Why did I say scorpion? Spider.
Because scorpions are pretty cool too.
That's cool. That's true. And they're both arachnids, so...
That's true.
So, I will dive down. I will pile drive. It's not really a pile drive. I will simply just fly down with the power of my boots and the power of gravity and the thrust of my sword, and I will just slam into this abomination.
All right, and
metal.
are you using the flame modification on
You
your sword?
know I am.
Hells yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. First attack is a 25 versus AC.
That's gonna hit.
Excellent. I'll roll the damage. That is 16 slashing damage and 9 fire damage.
Okay. 16 slashing and 9 fire.
Yep. Then I will attack it again. Again, 25 to hit. Rolled.
That is definitely going to hit.
Excellent. So,
Look at me, I'm good at things.
12 slashing damage and 7 fire damage.
12 and 7. Oh, sorry, what was the first lot?
First lot was 16 and 9.
16 and 9, yes, perfect.
So this is 12 and 7. Am I like cutting into it, or have I realized that when you asked if I was doing fire damage, that was a DM trap and I'm really just healing it?
No, you see these, like, you see on the legs and the top of the tank where your slashes are slamming and hitting into the steel. You pass through that metal and there is like that steaming orange sort of melted metal look every time you slash through it.
Awesome. Then I will use my action surge.
Yep.
Attack this thing again. So that gives me another 2 attacks. First one. That's unfortunate. That's only a 10 versus AC.
That is not going to hit.
Second one is a 27 versus AC.
That is going to hit.
So that is 15 slashing damage and 2 fire damage.
Alright, so describe what happens when you destroy this thing.
Nice. So my first dive, I come at it. The fire is radiating off my sword like a meteor as I just fly straight down to it, pierce into the cockpit. Because is there a dude inside this, or is there a dude inside the Minotaur?
You are not sure.
Okay, well, I slam my sword straight into the central part of this, and then just pull it, and without any finesse, I'm just bludgeoning, just hacking and hammering at it.
All right. So as you're like hacking and slashing into the top turret head of this spider tank thing, you hear someone inside screaming as bursts of flame sort of lick out of the gashes and the holes that you've pierced and slashed in it, and then the spider shudders and the legs start to like crinkle up, and it then falls into the ground.
Nice.
And it is dead. But I will need you to, and anything that's in 20 feet, which is you and the vehicle that it's just come out of, needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's unfortunate. For me, that is a 9.
Okay, as you are slashing and you hear the guy screaming inside, when the spider thing falls to the ground, a massive arc of flame explodes out of this mechanized, or this mechanical spider tank, and you will take oof, that's really lucky. You will only take 13 fire damage.
Well, I will take even less because I have
Yep.
resistance against fire.
Yes, I rolled a bunch of ones in that, actually. So that's lucky for you, but this thing and the person who is piloting it is no more.
Excellent. Does the spider legs like go in on itself like normal spiders do when they die?
Yes.
Nice.
That's when when the legs curled up, that's what it did. Yeah.
AI's come a long way.
All right. Next is Little Moss. You can move again.
I'm glad that you targeted the weakest opponent, and I'm getting my face smashed in a
If
fountain.
I were to target the weakest opponent, I would have cut your head off.
Ooh.
Yeah, you couldn't move either.
I'm not an opponent.
I know. Yeah, that I realise that's where it falls down.
Like me in a fountain.
So maybe
you
you're a
are-
rival to his coolness.
Yeah.
And all rivals are his enemies.
Right, I
opponents.
get it.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Well,
No problem.
hold on. I
Feels
just
like
need
my parents came and defended me.
I need some refreshments.
I can be your RPG daddy.
Cheat.
RPD. Anyway,
Give me the sweet items.
so if I move away, he's going to take an up attack, and I'll probably get smushed into the water. So I probably don't want to do that. But I would like to yell and say, "Go for the briefcase" to the others, as I
Alright.
continue to grapple with this robotic monstrosity.
They would not have seen any briefcase. But guys, you hear
Go for the bitch
Little Moss-
with the briefcase.
Little Moss yells out expletive with the briefcase.
Yep.
And
Because it's alliterative, but it's not when you say expletive.
I have a beeper on in my suit, so I just hear beep, briefcase.
I thought you had a.
like, who installed this?
I thought you had a beeper like in Scrubs, like
Yeah.
before.
No, it's I paid
Before they
I
had
looked
mobile
down and it
phones,
says,
yeah.
Bitch with the briefcase.
That's
All right. What else are you going to do, sir? Because yelling is not your turn.
No, it's not.
That is for free.
I am going to. I'm basically going to try and jump up onto the head of this mecha monstrosity.
Yes.
Grapple it by the horn and start to like punch it in the head, like just crack through the glass, the interface, the.
Yeah, there's but where its eyes are, there is glass.
Yeah. So
All right.
roll for attack.
Yes, sir.
11. I rolled a 3.
That is a miss.
And I will try and attack again.
Do it.
23!
That's a hit.
Yay! Alright, so for that attack... Or do I roll my other attack as well? Or do I do my
What do you
damage? I have 3 attacks.
You can do your second attack or whatever it is. Like, are you using like flurry of blows and stuff like that? Yeah, make sure you just say that too, so I know what you're using.
I do a flurry of blows.
Sweet.
And the second one is a 24.
And that'll also hit.
Okay.
So roll your damage for both of those and let me know how many and what type of damage too, please.
31 bludgeoning damage.
Alrighty then. So, are your hands classed as being magical yet?
I have Denser's elemental gauntlets that were crafted for me in the first episode to thank Moss for saving his shop from a gang of unruly youths.
And you've used them like twice?
Yeah, but I've decided to start incorporating them into my broader repertoire. And they...
So you can add extra damage on.
Yes, so which I have done. Like, they're incorporated into my damage, and they are lightning damage.
Okay, cool. So how much bludgeoning and how much lightning?
The bludgeoning would be everything except for the +5 bonus. So 10 of that 31 damage would be lightning.
Okay, cool. So... Oh, I read it wrong. Okay, no. Cool. Very cool. How much damage... So you did 21 bludgeoning and 10 lightning,
Yep.
right? Sick. Fucking hell.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I did, but
No, I'm... It's not you, it's me. It's actually me.
that's what every girl says to me.
Alright, so you just start pummeling this thing in the top of its head. You're standing on it and you just... Boom, 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 boom. 1,000 punches almost. Almost 1,000. You got 999 punches in. The top of this Minotaur's head thing has almost collapsed in. But you haven't quite finished it yet. And it's done a lot of damage. You see its legs like buckling and stuff under the pressure of your punches.
Sick.
Then we will have the Minotaur Mech.
Oh.
So what it will do is while you are up there punching it, you will you notice that
It's getting horny.
those horns they change from a glowing
Speaks
red
before
to a
Minotaur?
glowing green,
Uh-oh.
and these beams fire out at you.
Oh dear.
That's 20 versus AC. Okay, and that will be... Where are you? Those guys. That's 8,000. It's 8 radiant damage as these lasers blast out of the horns. It knocks you back 10 feet. And then as you land in the water,
Shocking.
it swings its great maul at you. That is a 19.
Oh, come on! Hits.
And that one. Oh, lucky ducky. That is a good old 12 bludgeoning damage as it slams you with its great maul.
I'm down.
Little Moss goes down in the fountain with the great maul.
Sounds like an episode of Cluedo. It was Little Moss
The-
in the fountain with the great maul.
The Minotaur Mech is standing over you. It slowly lifts up its great maul into the sky like you might see Thor do when he fucking flies out into space. He's lifting it up, staring at the maul as it's slowly, in slow motion, coming down to slam into Little Moss once again. But before then, we have Banshee's turn. And she will once
what
again.
happened to Spigs?
Oh, it is. Sorry, it is Spigs. It is Spigs. Spigs' turn.
Alright, I think
Yes.
Help me! I mean,
Oh,
I'm
come
unconscious.
You're just like...
Blah, blah, blah. It's just bubbles.
Little bubbles.
It was a magic
Alright.
fountain.
It's actually the fountain of life, and like you drink the water and you get back to full health.
Ooh, a twist.
Alright.
It just gives you cold sores because someone else has been drinking it when they've had them.
Now I've got herpes.
Oh.
Spigs aims the Thunder Fire Cannon at the Minotaur.
No, you don't. You don't know how hurt I am.
Okay, let's see. 130 feet?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
150 feet, mate.
Oh, nice. Alright.
It's basically a sniper rifle.
Yeah, through the van. Like, look at his line of sight in this bay. Like, he's got to get through.
It's pretty tall.
He's got to get through another character, a van, another van, and then hit him.
The mech is pretty tall though. You know what? Actually, this thing, the vehicle, the green vehicle in the way, that's going to be in the way. So you'll have to move out, but you'd be able to fire over the van for sure.
Alright, so what Spigs is going to do is he's going to move 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. So, like, left to try and get sight on the big mech. Yep. And then fire.
Alright. Do it. Roll your attack, sir.
Alright. Is it going to hit? He's going to use a hero dice.
Peter and his hero dice.
Could save your life with a, what's that, 9 plus 5 plus 4, 18 versus AC.
That meets it. It beats it.
Yeah!
What?
Are you angry that he is about to save your life?
Yes. I don't want to owe anyone
And it misses just and strays over the water. Bullets go through the water, piercing the muscles.
Oh.
Alright, he has also loaded in the magazine. It's called Arcane Magazine, but it's basically electricity bullets.
I think I've read Arcane Magazine.
Little Moss can't read.
Alright. Yep, that's good. So that's 8. Plus 3. Plus 6. 17. 17 plus... What's the actual damage on it? Plus 2. 19. Oh, you want me to split it up? Probably good to split it up.
Yeah, split it up. Just
Alright,
yeah.
so 6, 8, so a total of 8 piercing damage, and an additional 10 thunder damage.
Alright. Describes to me what happens when you destroy this Minotaur Mech.
Basically, so the only thing really Spigs can see is his back of the Minotaur's head sticking up over the truck. So he fires, aiming perfectly at his neck, and he kind of serves his neck, and his head rolls off into the pool, landing on Moss's head, back of his head.
10 feet away. That's amazing.
Alright, you fire. The head goes spinning off this mech and it lands right, we'll say behind Little Moss, unless you want him to take damage from it. I'm happy to do so if you would like.
I think it'd be thematic.
Alright,
Maybe
cool.
make him a chance to hit him.
This head of this mech flies towards Little Moss's unconscious and slightly floating body in the water. And that will be a 23 versus AC. Little Moss.
It hits.
Yep. It will be... He's unconscious. Does that mean he's helpless, Ben? And does that mean he takes an automatic crit damage?
think so.
All right, so that'll be 12 damage, Little Moss, bludgeoning damage, as this huge metallic Minotaur head slams into you after it's blasted off of its body by Spigs.
What does that mean? Like, because I'm downed.
So you take minus 12.
Okay.
And if you get to minus your full HP, your character is...
Okay, I'm on minus 12.
Gone. G-O-N. This large Minotaur mech then stumbles backwards, turning towards where the damage came from. And you see inside the head section of this mech there is a guy, and he's bleeding from his face, and the top of his head has like blood pouring out of it and is all scorched. And the Minotaur falls to its knee and then slumps over, and then you see the guy just like hanging there, dead. And it will now be the Banshee's
Now
turn.
she's going to run for the door. I told you to go for the girl in the briefcase.
All right, so she makes it towards this massive building and up the stairs inside. And just as the end of this battle, because it really only goes for not even a minute. Hey, this battle goes on so quickly that then the building starts to shut down. You see over or behind the glass, you see all these lights flashing in there, and you hear sirens going off. And then in the distance, you hear security cars and possibly even hovercopters coming towards your location. What do you guys want to do, Little Moss and Cortaine?
I'm down. I can't talk.
Is Spigs is there with me?
Yeah, he's a little bit away, but
So
45 feet.
We've just seen the Banshee go into the building, and the security lockdown has happened.
Yeah, she passes that huge fountain and passes the palm trees that sort of flank the staircase or the stairs into this huge monolithic building. She runs up those stairs and inside.
I'll pull Little Moss out of the water so he's not going to drown.
Cool.
Then I will just leave him on the fountain for Spigs, and I will rush to the door and see if I can break it with my flaming sword or a gun.
It's one of those rotating doors that's constantly spinning.
So the security is just like internal alarms and stuff.
Yep.
Okay, I run through the door.
Alright, you make it inside the building, and we will cut back to Little Moss is laying there on the side of the fountain, bleeding out. He's got this massive cut on the side of his head. Probably a few broken ribs. Spigs, what are you doing?
Spigs. It's like, imagine in slow motion, but it's normal motion. He's running towards.
His chicken legs are working as hard as they can. You make it all the way to Little Moss, and he's laying there, slumped up against the side of the fountain, bleeding out.
Spigs pulls out from his compartment.
Please don't. Oh, wait, what were you going to say?
An adrenaline shot.
This is not Sean Connery in The Rock. You're not going to stab me in the heart with an adrenaline pen.
He's gonna stab you in the dick.
Oh.
Stabs
You can
you.
edit that out. That was.
I hope it's a small needle.
He stabs him in the left heart.
Alright.
I have two
Sorry, I
hearts.
didn't say left pec. The left pec is what I meant.
The
It's
left.
like, I'm going to stab you in your left heart as opposed to your right heart.
Alright. You stab him with his adrenaline. The spell Spare the Dying is used on you, so you're stabilized. You are brought to 1 HP. It wakes you up. You have a -2 to Wisdom for 1d4 hours, which I will roll, which is 3. But you are up and awake
On 1 health.
on 1 health.
Okay.
And you know what? Because of the adrenaline, I'll give you a +2 to your initiative.
Okay.
You're right, little boss.
Ah, man. I'm wet. And bloody. I got mushed by Minotaur's phallus.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Spigs moves over the Minotaur mech suit.
yep.
Checking it out.
All right, it's a big mechanical mech suit, a mechanical suit that's shaped like a minotaur. There is a dead pilot inside of it. Yeah, that's what you see.
I say to Spigs, there was a... Remember that girl that didn't like you very much and she shot you through the chest that time?
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Nope.
Alright, well, you remember that time when we had our first mission as mercenaries and we had to do a single job, which was like drive a laundromat truck from point A to point B? You remember that?
Vaguely?
Vaguely, yeah, right. And then you broke protocol and you looked in the back. And when you broke protocol, she broke you.
No, I don't remember.
Okay, well then I'm telling you that's what happened, and the woman that did that just ran inside that building, and I think we need to go get her because she had some kind of briefcase in her hand. Can we sort this out, please?
But there's a cool Minotaur suit. Maybe you can use it.
I can use it. Surely you could use it better than I could. You could just plug your feet in.
No, I just checked it out, and it's a bit hard to get into.
Alright. Can I test it out?
Sure.
No, can
In the
I
time
test
that
it
they're
out,
having-
Luke?
All right, you crawl over there to this big
With my 1 HP.
Minotaur mech. The area that this pilot is in may be a little bit too small for you, little Moss.
Oh.
Because he's the pilot's like he's maybe 5 foot.
Like the size of a
He's not the
dwarf,
tallest guy.
for
It's
example.
like a jockey.
Yeah, he's like a smaller guy that's inside this mech suit.
Dude, I know they call me Little Moss, but it's actually an ironic nickname. Do you want to try it out, Spigs? See if you fit in this small hole. It's more your thing. It's more your girth.
Is there a way to use it, Luke, or not?
You can make a mechanic check if you wish.
Ooh.
It's like Spigs' time to shine, baby.
75.
Unlikely.
Alright, it is 18.
18. All right, you find a way to, like inside the head area, you press some buttons and stuff in there, and the front of it opens up, and there is the half charred and bloody corpse of this pilot in there. Just as it opens up, and all this steam comes out of the chest plate of this Minotaur mech, and you both recoil from the smell, the odor of sizzling flesh and boiled blood from the shock that this guy must have received from being inside the suit when it was destroyed, if you will. You guys turn away at the stink, and we'll cut to Cortaine. You were in the lobby of this massive building. Running down the center of this lobby is the Banshee, and she's running incredibly quickly. There are all of these sort of reception desks and waiting areas, these big glass panels with screens that come across that say ULTRADAI.
Does it look like is she just running across that floor, or is she looking like she's going to a staircase or an elevator, or...
Yes, north, further north where she's running towards, there are a bunch of elevators and some other doors and stuff as well.
Okay. This foyer is... Yep. Is it a very, if I look up, can I see the balconies of other floors? Could I fly up to other floors from where I am?
You certainly can.
Okay, I will pull out my pistol. How far away is the Banshee? She's
probably a good 100 feet or so.
100 feet. I will simply chase after her, moving 60 feet.
Alright. So, as you're running through the foyer of this massive building, this ULTRADAI Industries, towards these elevators, she gets there and she presses the button and she turns and she's against it and she's constantly, quickly, sort of, urgently pressing the button of this elevator to call it down, and she's looking up and she's waiting and waiting and waiting, and you see everything in the building go dark. There's still light pouring in the massive front glass windows of this building, but all the power goes out.
Yes.
You hear the sound of the light music in the background of this foyer turn off. All the lights, all of the screens that are advertising this company that this building is for turns off. The elevator stops, and you guys all three of you receive across your AR from Gage. It's a whole bunch of code, and then all the code flicks into common language, and it says, "My last little gift to you for a while." All the power is down. She looks up at the lights, and then she runs towards some doors. She kicks it open and makes her way up some staircases. You reach the edge of the staircase and you look up, and it looks like this stairwell that reaches on forever. And that's where we'll end this episode.
Awesome. Chills.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for listening. And thank you for downloading. Thank you for sending me this Casio calculator. It's white. It has got a bunch of numbers and stuff. I don't know how to use it too well, but it put numbers on there. Good. And thank you for listening.
Who has a white Casio calculator?
I do.
I do.
Me too.
Right,
were you the only person that didn't receive one?
I shouldn't have said that in front of people that majored in maths and engineering. It was like, of course I've got one.
Dude, I use it every day at work.
Oh my god. Get a smartphone. Anyway, our website.
You can't use sight finish.
You can. There is an app. Travis has to speak about the website. That is www.beyondthedice.com, which you can also get to on your smartphone.
And or calculator, if it's Casio.
And or white Casio calculator.
Check out our Instagram as well. We take D&D, RPG, and just other nerdy pics, and we post them up to there. So check it out at Beyond the Dice.
Where there should be, we should upload some pictures of this Casio. It would be Instagram, but another source where you could upload to would be our Facebook page at facebook.com/BTDPOD.
Alright. And next time you are on the internet, on your phone or your browser, and you have a little bit of time, please head over to whatever service you use to listen to this podcast and give us a review. That'd be absolutely amazing. The more reviews we get, the better we can advertise to other people who might want to listen to this. Like, there are a lot of D&D podcasts out there, but ours is pretty different because we have some awesome synthwave music and some cyberpunk themes and futuristic shit in it. And yeah, it would be, and Little Moss, and it'd be really cool to reach people who may not know about us because we're little people. We aren't the big D&D podcast people. So if you can review us, that'd be fucking sweet. Anyway, thank you and have a good evening.
See you, gents and ladies.
Goodbye.